Hey everybody, aloha kako, hello and welcome. Just doing my third, I think, video at this point. I haven't really put out any research or put out any real intelligence, if you will, because I'm still kind of just formulating everything, putting together information from my perspective, things out here in Hawaii, and just getting things together. So not to say that my channel will be just me sitting here preaching or telling you just my opinion off of a whim. Although, I did, because everything that's going on now, want to come up and check out one of my bug out locations, one of the many. One thing I do recommend everybody do when they're looking for a bug out location is, here in Hawaii we're a little lucky because we have tons and tons of valleys and ridges and natural shelters, if you will. But on the mainland, there are even better options because you have things called salt mines or copper mines or gold mines or silver mines, or you guys have so many abandoned mines everywhere around you. Not only that, but natural caves. So when you are looking for a bug out location, which should always be a second option, shelter in place is always the most viable option. But when you are looking to bug out, one of the good places and resources to look at is actually if you don't have a family with a large farm that you're all going to meet up at, or if you're not very wealthy or affluent and you don't have just things set up, just go look for an abandoned cave or an abandoned farm. They'll keep you safe from dang near everything, radiation, fallout, if there are bombs, anything. It's really cool. Most caves will have access to water, and a lot of salt mines will actually have infrastructure that you'll be able to use if anything hits the fan. Now, I like to stay on the positive side of everything and stay Mr. Bright. So I'm going to start off with a hello. I love y'all. Again, welcome back to my channel. Right now, I'm actually up here about, I don't know, maybe 10-15 miles up in the Mahina Ridge area on Maui. I'm not sure how many of you guys have been out to Hawaii or even Maui in particular, but this is a beautiful location. It used to be an old riverbed. It still runs every time it rains pretty hard, but it's not a constant flow. It is surrounded by two ridges, very, very high ridges, and it's just filled with natural caves. It's definitely a blessing. There's also filled with spring water that pops up, really, really beautiful, crystal clear spring water. It's amazing. And it's just a really good place. There's fruit trees all around, lilikoi, guava, jackfruit. There's even some wild lychee, and I think pineapple due to dole. It just got wild out here. It's not indigenous in any means, but once they started planting it, they couldn't control it. So yeah, this is kind of where I'm going just to check things out. But my, I guess, message for today and what I really wanted to get through is, another huge tool, and every tool that, whether you want to talk about the deep state or you want to talk about any of these shadow governments or entities, uses fear and manipulation, and they break you down. They break you down as a person. They break you down your belief systems. They break down who you are from the core. So you don't focus on your frontal lobe anymore and you just use your reptilian brain. You're easy to sheep and herd around. For me, the only sheep I am is the sheep of Christ, and he is my shepherd. So one of the strongest things to always have in your arsenal is forgiveness. Regardless of your belief system, how strong forgiveness is when you really implement it into your life is astounding. Because until you truly decide to forgive the people who create anger or animosity or stress or strife in your life, you're not going to be able to be free of them. They'll continuously control you until you don't truly forgive them. Even myself, I have huge problems with this. There's people in my life that upset me constantly and make me very, very angry, and it's a big problem of mine. And I've started to tune into the power of forgiveness. Once you truly forgive people, you can love them. And once you love them and you forgive them, even though they're giving you animosity or grief or stress or strife, you kind of turn them around to say, wow, this person's not being a dick to me. It's not being an asshole, and I'm being absurd. I totally deserve it, but they're forgiving me and loving me. What's up? You'll motivate them to be more divine themselves, motivate them to be a more spiritual or better person even. So forgiveness, man, is huge. If someone does anything to you, don't react in fear, don't react in anger, don't react naturally. Your natural response is not the good response. None of our natural responses are. but try to have that higher response of forgiveness. Try and have that higher response of foresight, of understanding that where they're coming from isn't really personal. Even if it seems so, and even if what they say is personal, just know that we're all here facing the same challenges. We're all here wanting forgiveness and wanting love. So why not give it? Why not be the first person to step out and say, here's your forgiveness, here's your love. Now go out into the world and spread it. And that's the message for today. Hopefully, I think I'm going to have a bit of some information tonight. I'm getting everything together in regards to some information I've had from fellow YouTubers and from fellow just different sites out there that I've been in contact with. So hopefully I'll have some pretty good information tonight about what is going on the mainland and about what all this craziness is happening with sightings of armored cars and tanks and whatnot. We'll get down to the bottom of what's actually going on. Is there anything that we need to worry about, or is it just the same beat of the same drum day in and day out? It's just that we're coming to a crescendo, right? So we should never be unprepared. We should always be prepared, but we should never live in fear. Fear is when they get you. Fear is when you start becoming the person who you're not. God does not give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of righteousness and power and of sound mind. Now don't lose that. Fear is what the enemy uses to control you and to manipulate you and for you to lose the essence of who you are. And the essence of who you are is forgiveness, love, and courage. God bless, and I'll see you tonight.